Okay, let's go jump some ranked games with a random character and see what we're going to get today. So it looks like we're playing the big old Berserker. We are rocking our duffel bag along with a box of riches. So we could try to go for an Anvil type game today. When I say Anvil, I'm going to go in here and let's type it up really quickly. How about the slowest I can type it? And we got Anvil. So the Anvil is going to give us a bunch of damage for each crafted star item here. Now the reason why I do want to go for the Anvil, based on starting off with a box of riches, is because every single one of those gemstones, except for the first few chipped ones, do count as crafted items. So it's going to be nice to keep our box of riches, potentially. Well, I'm going to start off by grabbing a wooden sword, and you know what, I might craft up a torch. Maybe you want to go for a magic torch Falcon blade. It's been a long time since I've done that combo, and it's a classic. Now I also want to grab the shiny shell. Let's grab the stone. I want to roll. And we do need a second weapon. But I'm also looking at this armor. Now I'd rather grab ourselves a wooden sword than a broom at this point, but I'm still going to take it. And do we want to grab ourselves the leather armor? It's a little bit too expensive for right now. Do we save 1 gold? Do we sell our stone and our shiny shell? Well, actually I do want to keep both of these. And I think I just move on for now. Now is this going to be a good round one? We have a tiny bit of heals. We have 2 weapons, and we should be able to get a buff from our lump of coal. And I'm hoping we actually got Vampirism. Vampirism is going to be one of the best buffs we could have got. It might actually turn the tide of the fight, although our opponent's dealing lots of damage, and it doesn't actually. It is what it is. We're going to get our torch. It should be awesome. We get a tiny bit of lifesteal, and I seen this piggy bank with the box of riches, and I'm immediately thinking of the adventure to go for big piggy bank of riches. However, I do want to grab this. Let's grab this. Little emeralds. Let's grab you on sale and let's roll once. Our little forging hammer, which we probably should grab as well. And I'm going to waste another gold rolling, and holy moly, did we not find our wooden sword. That's kind of insane. I'm going to sell you, and I just want to take our banana, and I actually just want to roll once more. Now that's a freaking hammer. Should we go hammer? Or should we try to go for magic torch Falcon blade? I think at this point, let's sell our broom, let's sell our stone, let's take our wooden sword. Let's definitely not craft up a shell totem. And we're going to sell this little chipped emerald to go ahead and grab ourselves a red ruby. And it's looking much better for this round. So let's get moving once again. Definitely so. But we are taking on a reaper, crafting up a shovel, but with some food items, this frying pan is going to deal quite a bit of damage. We should be able to get a little bit of chippy lifesteal with those little rubies, which should be amazing, as we scale up our damage with our torch. So, not too bad win this round, hell yeah. But at least we got our hero sword. Now, we got Knife to meet you, we also got Thornburst. So, that hammer would have been amazing. Let's got Smelly one on sale for 3. Do we want to try to inflict a bunch of poison? We could use our garlics for now just to get us a bunch of block. I don't really plan on inflicting too much poison, but these might be nice to get more damage. But I'm not too pushy about looking for daggers. Thornburst for the stun, it could be kind of nice, but it's going to be relatively slow. We don't really use spikes too great. So I think I take Smelly Wall for now. We take Smelly Wall, we grab our storage, we grab our gemstones, we roll again, we find our garlic, and we grab our little topaz. However, I'm going to waste another gold rolling as we're trying to find another garlic, but we'll settle for a lump of coal. But I might as well take our last stone, and yeah, I think I'm moving on with this positioning. I think this should be pretty darn decent to get an extra buff from our lump of coal. And yeah, we should be able to get our block from our garlic, because it is quite significant block, but it's not going to matter. Going to begin this Reaper, Mage, why I'm saying Reaper for, is Mage, because they're going to shred that armor like it doesn't exist. But can we scale up our damage on our torch before they can scale up so much max life with their magic for dummies, or even get in power with their wands? It's not looking too bad. They do manage to get 2 in power, 3 in power. But it's looking pretty good for us. I say that as we're neck and neck right now. We do get our battle rage, triggering our items a little bit faster. And awesome, it does give us the advantage in the end. But hey, we got our first pair of gloves. We also got our spear as well if we want it. We can also try to go for crossblades, but at this point, I don't think it's worth it. Since we already passed 1 whetstone. Let's take these for now. Let's roll again. That's a dagger. We could have went Knife to meet you with this. But we really do want a topaz as well. Leather boots we could take the craft up into dragon skin boots. Now we could actually change our setup around to go something like this instead. So our Smelly Wall would be nice in this positioning. Speeding up our garlic as fast as possible, using our gloves to speed up our banana initially, along with our torch should be amazing. We craft up these gemstones, and yeah, we just get moving once again. We do need to find ourselves a health pot, another pair of gloves, and a set of blueberries to start getting our build online. But can we beat this other berserker rocking the shepherd's crook? Pretty much similar builds, except they got stones to deal extra damage. But can our battle rage outpace our opponent? Hell yeah, it can. Box Rich is putting in work with our gemstones, and holy moly, there's an artifact stone there. Now, can we use this efficiently with a magic torch Falcon blade type combo? I don't think there is, but I mean, we do get the bag of stones. We could inflict a bunch of fatigue. It would be awesome and give us crits. We could take it and go Jibwood Guardian, because Jibwood Guardian with crits is crazy. But the mad thing is, I'm going to take our gemstone, I'm going to take our fanny pack, and I'm going to roll. And that's magic torch. Holy moly, that's straight up magic torch. With another freaking garlic. Now I also want to craft up these blue sapphires, but we can't really add it in just yet. We definitely want our smelly wall to be going in this position, and it should be more awesome for us. And we do want to craft up our set of blueberries into a magic torch. So with that, we're going to move on with this for now. It should be genuinely awesome. We'll see. We're speeding up our torch to have crazy stamina cost. That's why you have our little topaz along with our banana. Our opponent's doing a lot of damage with that burning blade. They also got the armor. And can we survive with our little chipped rubies and our tiny bit of block with our smelly wall? Because right now it's looking pretty darn smashing for us. That's for sure. Now our torch should actually scale up quite a bit, 7.1 DPS. And hey, I actually want to know. Their burning blade had a 10.1 DPS. But we do get our magic torch. And I'm looking at this big old box of riches, and I kind of want that. Mainly because we want to be inflicting a bunch of poison by stacking up some armor as well, would be kind of nice. Grabbing more gemstones would just be crazy value for us. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to roll. That's our gloves. We got Falcon blade right now. And I'm looking at a potential spiked staff, which, yeah, I'm not going to be taking. Okay, so I was thinking about crafting up our Falcon blade in this position, being the heart of our builds, but using our gloves to target our torch as fast as possible. So we're definitely going to be running through stamina like there's no tomorrow. I'm not going to put in a little forging hammer. I'm thinking about selling potentially this little green gemstone to go ahead and grab another big ruby. And we don't actually have to craft this up. We can use it for our anvil, which I might actually do, but you know what? We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crafted items. So you know what? Maybe we'll hold on to it. But let's get moving with this for now. Now, are we going to be able to win this rounds? Maybe not, because it is going to be a lot of stamina on this torch. 1.1. But we should have that little bit of chip heals with our smelly wall, giving us block on our garlics to potentially outpace this frying pan. Now, it's going to be scary because that's going to be guard power, giving them a ton of damage as well. This frying pan has pretty much a 9 DPS. Well, our torch does have a 10 DPS, but our stamina should be run out more than our opponents. And it's looking very, very scary for us. It's neck and neck until that big old frying pan smash. And they do win out, unfortunately. But hey, we should be in a much, much better spot now that we have our magic torch with our Falcon blade. Let's grab our little topaz and let's roll. Okay, Island I would gladly take, but we do need some sort of mana generation. Definitely want to grab our stamina sack, and I'm going to grab a little blue gemstone. Now we could grab stones as well, but it is what it is. Now we got no mana generation, which is a little bit unfortunate, making me want to sell our shiny shell to roll again. And that's exactly what I want. Should we craft up a mana pot? Well, to be honest, I'm going to sell our stone, and I'm going to either sell one of our gemstones, or do we sell coal? We're going to grab ourselves a big old banana. Big old banana, a big old set of blueberries. I'm going to speed up our Falcon blade, which should be awesome. We should be able to get our block. We should be able to get our skilling damage. And let's get moving once again. So at least we have a small bit of mana generation. We have the potential to get some mana with our Chip Sapphire, which is one of the reasons why I did want to run in our Falcon blade. I know it's a very, very low chance, but getting that 1 extra mana means a ton more skilling damage. And it's not looking too bad. Hell yes, smashing out a Pyromancer, not too much of an issue. But we did say we wanted to try the Anvil. It's been a while since I actually played the Anvil. And starting off with a box of riches is kind of nuts for him. Otherwise, we could also take the Shaman Mask, which is nuts, with a bunch of gemstones as well. But we do want to find those runes and replace those gemstones. But how can we not take the Anvil at this point? There's also an armor on sale for 6, which is madness. So let's take our tiny bit of storage. Let's take this emerald as well. And you know, I'm going to take the armor and I'm going to roll once. That is a crazy, crazy emerald. Huh? Did I say emeralds? I meant ruby. Which is kind of funny. Now, we could have our smelly wall in this position. We could also take our leather armor and craft up a vampiric armor. Or do we want to keep our holy armor? We also want to add in our box of riches. But I was also thinking about moving on in this position. Now, we could take our banana, which we might not need anymore since our stamina cost is going to be relatively low. We place this in, and that's an anvil almost fully completed, and that is an anvil literally fully completed. So we could really do something like this. However, I do really want to put in our island for a little bit more scaling damage. Maybe I'm a little bit stupid because this is going to give us +1 damage, and we're going to have to wait for this to be triggered one time to get the value from our anvil anyway. So, you know, maybe I'll just rock on with this for now. Let's craft up this gemstone. We're going to be getting some flames, and we could end up going for a holy armor, which I'm definitely going to be down for. Or a sun armor. Sun armor so we can get a bunch of heat off the rip to speed up our weapon situation. Could be kind of awesome. And it's not looking too bad. Now, we did inflict 4 poison, which poison is going to be irrelevant for the time being. But hey, not too bad. Yeah, that's a freaking mana orb. Should we just go moon armor? I mean, the sun armor would have been amazing as well, but that's a freaking moon armor. That's also magic staff, which could also be amazing as well. But a moon armor is a moon armor. Let's take our mana orb. Let's take our gemstone. Let's roll. That is a big old topaz. But hey, we do need our storage. I'm going to go for that moon armor. I think it's just too good not to take at this point. And we're going to put in our box of riches. Now, I also kind of want this for 8 gold, or am I crazy? Because speeding up our magic torch as fast as possible is going to be a huge, huge win con for us. I mean, we could also take the gloves and go for dragon claws. I think if anything though, I'd rather grab ourselves a vampiric set of gloves. And we got ourselves another green gemstone, which I'm going to craft up. We didn't get any other gemstones that we can craft up, but I'm going to keep them for the time being. But I'm going to sell our garlic, and I'm going to take the gloves for now as well. But let's venture on with this. Let's get going. Now, we are facing a smelly wall build if I ever seen one. They're going to be stacking up a lot of poison on us, but we deal crazy damage from the get-go. And we should get pretty decent scaling with our magic torch. Way faster than our opponents, and awesome. But hey, at least we're going to get ourselves our moon armor with a ton of flames, giving us a ton of value, which is awesome. Now, do we want to go enchanted weapons? It only really works with a magic torch. I don't really want to go double rainbow either. Garper, I'm not really interested in as well, so I think it's either more stats here or it's going to be the gamble. Let's see what we get. It gave us Thornburst. Holy moly, should we go triple box of riches? I'm not sure about that. But yeah, let's grab this. Let's actually grab this gemstone too. Armor will be nice, another box of riches will be nice, but I'm going to need some storage, and that is a big old prismatic orb. And the question is, do we even want a prismatic orb at this point? It would give us start mana, but I don't think it's going to be too nice. To be honest, I mean, it would give us a bunch of vampirism. Vampirism is always crazy good healing on multiple melee weapons, but it's too expensive right now. So what I'm going to actually take is this regular emeralds. I'm going to sell 1 flame to roll once again, and that's what I'm talking about. Now, we could take our bloody amulet as well. We could also go for a flame up, which I'm not really interested in flame up. But I do kind of want to grab our bloody amulet, go for a vampiric set of gloves. So you know what? I think I'm going to rock on with this. We probably should add this in as well. But yeah, I did move our set around so we can have our moon armor in beside our magic items, being our magic torch and our falcon blade to speed it up. So we get that mana relatively fast. But can we beat this mage? Because it's not looking too bad. They do have a sun armor for lots of block. And they do have crazy vampirism. Well, smashing. Genuine awesomeness. But yeah, we grabbed ourselves a big old emeralds. Now we could actually try to inflict a bunch of poison with our falcon blade. That could be a lot of fun actually. Let's grab our stamina sec though. Let's grab this too. Let's make sure we craft up a vampiric set of gloves. Let's add you in and let's start trying to craft up another gemstone. The problem is we did craft up a big old regular ruby. So we do need to place this in this position as well. Which means I'm going to be crafting up more of this too. Although, let's go ahead and grab our topaz and let's roll again. And we definitely want to grab storage on sale. And I'm going to sell 3 flames to go ahead and grab it. Now we can craft up another gemstone. We can craft up this gemstone as well, and yeah, that's all the gemstones we can craft up for now. So yeah, let's get going once again. So we're going to try to scale up a lot of damage with a super fast magic torch. I mean, it's triggered every 0.7 seconds, and that's without a battle rage. And our Falcon blade is going to be trying to inflict a bunch of poison along with her Smelly wall. Our opponent does cleanse all of it with these hell pots, which so it's not going to be too great for us. And they are dealing lots of damage, but we do manage to win out. So overall, amazing. And we're going to get our vampiric set of gloves. That's so many flames. Now we can actually start to grab ourselves that prismatic orb. Which I'm definitely down to grab. I mean, it's going to be so much mana from the get-go. It's going to be Vampirism on top of our Vampirism, which is going to be amazing, so we'll be taking it. Now again, I want to be crafting up our gemstones. This is going to reduce our healing on our opponents with these as well. We can also increase your healing with a regular ruby, or we could try to inflict a small bit more poison. How about we sell pretty much all our flames with our banana? So we can go ahead and grab this and craft up a big old perfect emerald for ourselves. We add you back in, we add this in too. And I'm thinking about moving on with this. Now it's only going to give us 4 mana as well as 1 vampirism, so it's not too crazy for us. But let's get going. We probably should add this in as well, because that is going to slow down our opponents by inflicting a tiny bit of coals. Let's get going. Now this magic torch, still 0.7. But after that 3.5 seconds, it should go down to 0.6, and we get our vampirism to keep us healthy. And that's 20 poison. And smashing. I mean, the Anvil Berserker with the Falcon Blade Magic Torch was always a fantastic combo, and it's still proven so. We end up with a 60 DPS, which is kind of amazing. You know, Falcon Blade, Magic Torch, and Poison. Now, Poison might not be the best since we're going to have a lot of flat damage, a lot of scaling damage. I just see these big emeralds, and I kind of want to take it. Now, our opponent only had a 20 DPS, rocking a Thornbloom Cupcake Gooberts with a ukulele. They're definitely trying to stack up insane amounts of power, but they're not quite set up just yet. Now, in terms of heals, even with a vampirism, we don't have a whole lot of healing. Our opponent didn't have any heal reduction on us, so it's not that great at the end of the day either. In terms of block, we do get 120 blocks, so if you want to continue on, we definitely need to get stronger. And by get stronger, I mean grab ourselves more block, more mana, more vampirism, more gemstones. So we'll be taking this. Let's take our set of blueberries. Let's take our gemstone. Let's roll once. And we could take ourselves a ruby egg. Or how about we sell our flames again? To grab this for now also. Because I really just want to stack up a bunch of vampirism from the get-go. The problem I'm having right now is I want more block on our moon armor, but it does mean our blueberries does have to sit in this position, which is a little less than ideal. But I'm going to sell 1 flame just to continue rolling, and that's a big old regular amethyst. Then we can grab ourselves a King's Crown on top to make use of these gemstones to reduce our opponent's healing. We get some invulnerability if we stack up a lot of mana. Yeah, I'm probably going to take that. But hey, this is looking pretty good for the next rounds. Let's move on. Let's move on. We are facing a Blood Goobert with some strong vampiric pots. We're going to get that initial healing from the get-go. Tons of vampirism, which could be troublesome. And 44% heal reduction, so our vampirism is not going to be doing a whole lot. And unfortunately, yeah, they do win out. It is what it is. We're going to grab our Glowing Crown. We're going to grab this storage. And we're going to craft up this box of riches. However, I do want to increase your healing efficiency with more mana in this position as well. We can craft up another blue gemstone. Is there any other gemstones we can craft up? Not exactly. Do we still want a forging hammer? We could be scaling up that damage also. But I'm going to sell the flame to go ahead and grab our little green gemstone. Now, honestly, we could have also went for Molten Greatsword. Molten Greatsword with the Anvil could actually be kind of fun. Decreasing the stamina cost of it, using up the heat to gain a bunch of power. But let's rock on once again. We should be able to get some invulnerability potentially. We do start off with 6 mana. Our Magic Torch does run through that mana relatively fast, so we don't really have a great way to scale up except for Moon Armor. But opponent's also dealing a lot of damage, and unfortunately we are starting to bleed some life, which is not ideal. But at least we got ourselves our King's Armor. King's Armor, I mean King's Crown. which means we can place it down in this position. We could try to get more mana from a prismatic sword, from a prismatic orb. We could also go prismatic sword from this point. But how about we grab our healing reduction, craft this up, just so we stop our opponent from healing altogether. I'm also going to gamble a little bit. Armor to Life is really, really awesome for us. I'm not going to lie. Let's take the other box of riches for now. Let's roll again. That's some healing that we can take as well. Now maybe we want to actually do the smart thing and get a bunch of healing on our Falcon Blade. Or just increase our healing efficiency on our armor, rather than stacking up a bunch of poison on our Falcon Blade, since we want to deal damage fast. But I'm going to sell another flame. We could take the stun skin boots. We could also grab ourselves a helmet to reduce our opponent's healing, but we should be able to reduce quite a bit of heals with our King's Crown. Now I kind of also want to speed it up as well. But do we keep 2 box of riches? Do we be super, super greedy? Do we sell 2 flames to go ahead and grab this as well? And again, I'm just thinking on whether we want lifesteal on our Falcon Blade to keep us super healthy, because we could literally replace it with this, and I think that would be much, much better than inflicting a bunch of poison. To be honest, even though the poison is a lot more fun in my opinion, but increasing your healing is going to be awesome. Now this is going to be 25%, it's going to be about 37% since we're going to get 50% increase from our King's Crown. So between both of these, that should be about 74%, so with another freaking 18%, which is about 92, on top of another 12. So almost 100% healing reduction, or am I crazy? But I think we move on with this. Almost 100% healing reduction, our opponent is going to have a lot of damage with a Burning Blade Obsidian Dragon. But exactly 100% healing reduction, we do get invulnerability, allowing us to stack up our damage, allowing us to get our Vampirism. But our opponent also gets invulnerability, stopping us from lifestealing altogether. But can we keep up? Because we do enter Battle Rage, and barely. Holy moly. Did we survive that? So, I'm definitely going to get rid of our poison stacking, craft up some lifesteal. We want to increase our healing on our King's Crown as well. I kind of want to grab the armor. Definitely do not want to grab ourselves another bloody amulet. Let's grab more red rubies. Let's roll again. And it's a big topaz. But let's grab our stamina stack. So we still have our anvil fully sorted. We're going to have a tiny bit of lifesteal on our Falcon Blade for now. We're going to increase our healing with this as well. We do lose a little bit of healing reduction since we did craft up a big gemstone. We're going to sell a flame and I'm going to keep rolling. We want to grab these whenever we see them, and I almost wanted to take this out as we craft up this for now as well. Now, do we want to grab ourselves another freaking leather armor for even more block? We could inflict a lot more poison. I think we're going to sell 2 flames. We're just going to take a set of blueberries. We sell 1 more flame to roll again. I'm going to sell this too. Let's grab this tiny bit of storage. We sell our little topaz and we go ahead and grab this other gemstone so we can craft it up, get another flame, and yeah, we move on with this. So this should be much, much better for souls. We should be able to get 15 poison. Now, if we still had our emerald in, we should be able to inflict a lot of poison. Now, our opponent is going to be increasing the damage we take with that poison ivy. But can we still win out? They got insane block, by the way. Insane block with shielded as well. 38 poison on us, they could whittle us down. But can we keep up? Because we got a lot of increased healing efficiency with our vampirism. We get our battle rage, speeding up our whole system, and we're starting to deal some big old damage. And not too bad once again. Smashing even. And we're going to get even tankier with a break-in vampiric armor, which now wants to sit in this spot, even though we do want to speed up with our vampiric gloves as well. Now we could actually go for a Paradise Barb, speeding up our whole setup even more. Instead of starting off with mana, Paradise Barb would be nice. It also increased our healing as well, but I'm not going to take it. Any red rubies I'm going to take. We're going to grab this small bit of storage. We're going to keep rolling. More red rubies I'll gladly take. I'll also gladly take you as well. So we can add this back in, speeding up, and that's amazing. And sell these to go ahead and craft up a big old red ruby for ourselves. Now I still want to sell our flames. Keep rolling to look for big old gemstones. We could sell our blue gemstone, which I'm probably going to roll again, and we could actually craft up. We could craft up a stone gloves as well. Now I was thinking about actually moving our prismatic orb into this spot so we can get our vampiric gloves to speed up our vampiric armor also. So it should be genuinely awesome. I'm going to move on. I'm going to craft up this gemstone. Let's go ahead and grab a little bit more lifesteal. Let's go ahead and grab insane healing efficiency. We do 55%, even though our opponent does have quite a bit as well. Of healing reduction, I mean. Now they're rocking a crazy setup. They're going to be inflicting a lot of poison. But so do we. And it's not looking too bad. We get invulnerability. And we're stacking up our damage. And amazing. We do still end up winning now. Now that's a big old flame badge for a ton of heat from the get-go. A final round flame badge for just a little bit more heat stacking. It sounds kind of amazing. I'm going to take it. 5 golds. 5 gold spent for 1 slot 6 heat is kind of nuts in my opinion. It's kind of nuts. I think it is going to be worth it. More blue gemstones. I mean, we could have also stacked up a lot of block as well. You can also just take this for a little bit more vampirism, but I'm going to roll. That is the second prismatic orb if you do want it. Stacking up even more buffs in general. Should we take that instead? I mean, do we just want to get rid of our garlic? We sell 3 flames. And this gemstone to go ahead and grab it. Just giving us a ton of buffs overall. Now this might actually want to sit in this position. We start off with more mana. This is literally going to proc instantly. Give us time to stack up our buffs. But how about we sell 1 box of riches to go ahead and grab another red ruby. And you know what, let's roll again. Now helmets would have been awesome as well. But I kind of want to sell more flames because I want to find more gemstones. But we're not going to be able to, so we're going to sell you. And you know what, that's actually going to be incredibly awesome to grab as well. So I'm going to sell you and I'm going to sell 1 extra flame. The reason why this is going to be incredible is because it just stops our opponent from stacking up so much max life. Now the funny thing is, we could add this back in to try and inflict a little bit more poison on hits with our Falcon Blade. Now I'm just wondering, is this our best positioning? Because we could use our prismatic orbs over in this spot. We would lose the speed on our moon armor, but we would gain insane speeds on a prismatic orb. We'd also lose a lot of vampirism as well. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm thinking about moving on with this sort of position. So we should be able to get 8 mana, 3 vampirism, with 12% increased healing efficiency, which should be amazing. As well as 6 mana, 2 vampirism, and 12% increased healing efficiency as well. We should be able to inflict a good bit of poison. Our moon armor should be able to get a ton of block. It's going to get 150 block, along with another 100 block. Which actually should inflict quite a bit of poison, and we're going to get some lifesteal from our Falcon Blade in this position, along with some poison stacking, and we're going to try to have the fastest magic torch possible. But it's the final rounds. You know what, let's sell our bag. We won't be able to use it anyway, and let's roll. Anything we do once, not exactly. But yeah, this is going to be a final setup from a King's Crown to a Moon Armor to a Magic Torch Falcon Blade to just a crazy box of riches run. But hey, let's see if we're going to be able to win out. Also Flame Badge in the final rounds. Now let's slow this down because we are facing a big old mana stacking, mana thirst, water elemental type build. They're going to be trying to inflict a lot of debuffs on us. But we'll see how we get on. We have 24 poison on them. They're starting to stack up their poison, or their cold I should say. But can we win before that becomes too much of an issue? Now, there's a lot of blind on us. Decreasing our accuracy by quite a bit, but that's why I also wanted Eye Lamp. So our accuracy is going to be 100%, and we don't necessarily need it on our Magic Torch. So accuracy not going to be too much of a problem, even though they have infinite buffs. Can we still win out? Hell yeah, we can. Not close whatsoever. Now we did end up with about a 60 DPS. Our opponent did have some shields to block some damage. They also had some damage reduction as well. They were trying to slow us down. They did decrease their accuracy, but overall not too bad. Definitely could be improved quite a bit. In terms of heals, we did manage to get about 83 healing per second, which is actually pretty good, except for the fact that we did have 154 healing amplification. It really should have been much higher, but we still only had 15 vampirism with a tiny little flawed ruby as your healing. And as you can see, it only heals for about 6 per second, which is not too mental, but that vampirism literally heals for 60 per second. So if you manage to get more vampirism stacking, our healing would have skyrocketed. As for max life, we did get about 20 max life, which is not too much. And in terms of block, we did end up with about a 340 block, inflicting a decent bit of poison. But it's been a while since I played the Anvil. You can't beat the classic. We did survive with 3 lives left. Let's go and see just how much rank points we managed to get. Ranking us back up to Masters 14. Amazing. But I'm going to leave it here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribing. And I'll just keep a lookout for the next one. I'll see you next time. Now, can we beat some round 18 fights? We're back in. Let's see if we can take on a cheesy Thornblue mana buffing Berserker. I've seen a lot of this Steward Guardian. It's been kind of crazy. They're going to be trying to reduce their healing as well. So they're going to stack up a lot of max life. So I'm glad we do got our little snowballs to reduce their max life gains by just a little bit. And that's 67 poison and stacking up as well. So we're actually kind of a decent poison stacking and not too bad. And can we take on double snow sticks, Shepherd's Crook, Water Elemental, Ice Flower? They're going to be trying to inflict a lot of cold on us. Like an insane amount of cold on us, potentially. But we're actually stacking up our poison. It's still 40 cold on us, 51 cold. It's skyrocketing right now. So we could be in huge trouble. Definitely. But we're after breaking through their armor just a small bit. And you know what? It's not looking too bad. Our Magic Torch still triggering in 4 seconds, which is mental with based on how much speed we're after giving it. Because with the perfect Topaz, it actually gains 40% attack speed, along with another 40% from our Falcon Blade, with another 35% from our gloves. But yeah, we do get our Battle Rage increasing speed again, and it's 8 seconds. That's 356 cold on us, by the way. But can we still run out? Definitely not. That's just an insane amount of cold. And it's kind of crazy how long we did survive there. And finally, can we take on a Reaper with double Ruby Chunks, with a Fancy Rapier, and a Snake? They're going to have so much max life. They're going to be trying to stun us with 12 heats with those Ruby Chunks. And that Fancy Rapier is going to have a lot of skilling damage. But we still managed to beat him down. Hell yeah.